Before you continue watching this video is sponsored by FBA Capital's Private Inner Circle. If you're looking for a community of 300 plus traders, live stream access, daily trade breakdowns, along with daily indices signals, then make sure you click the link in the description and make sure you join that free Telegram and make sure you get all the information that I provide for free. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And I'm sorry for the late upload today, but nonetheless, we're here with another weekly market breakdown on Nas100. So let's get right on into the video and right on into the charts. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on the highest time frame that I will go on. Let's go to the monthly. So first things first, we're keeping in mind that last month we had a very big bearish candle that broke the lows to our left, and as you can see, so far this month, even though we have 14 more days, we're about halfway through, we're still showing willingness to go lower. Now let's take it a step further. I'm going to pull my fib from that monthly candle's high to that monthly candle's low, and as you can see, we currently are rejecting that 38.20% level, and we are also rejecting this last down candle before its up move here, this breaker block. So now if you pull this all the way over, you see that price is still showing the willingness to want to go lower after rejecting this 15,000 level. So in my opinion, I still think there's a high chance that price is still going to make its way down to this level down here, which is, this is about 13.92, 13.9, I'm gonna just say 13.900, and then if we continue going lower from there, 11, I'm gonna say 12,100 is also going to be next. Now let's go on to the weekly time frame. So let's get rid of these because the monthly is not going to change overall. We just want to look at what's happening on the weekly buy. So as you can see on the weekly time frame, we're going to pull our fib from this high up here where this move started to here. You can see we are currently rejecting that 38.20% level, and price is showing a willingness to want to go lower, and it's showing that it's breaking structure to the downside. So where's the market going to go? We have this bullish order block down here and two before, so we know that there's a high likelihood that price is going to continue to move down to this area. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set alerts at the previous week's highs and the previous week's low. So I'm going to add alert right here. I'm also going to add an alert right here, so I can see when the market breaks the previous week's high and the previous week's low, because if it comes down to this previous week's low, I know there's going to be a very high chance that price is going to continue moving lower. But now we're going to go down to the daily time frame. So what am I expecting overall this week? Since I'm bearish, something that I want to see happen is I want to see price have a overall retracement. So right up here, I'm gonna use a box. I want to see price have an overall retracement back in to fill this gap that we have here. So ideally Monday through Wednesday, I'm going to be looking for price to at least have a pullback to, I say, 14,650, to then see price potentially continue going lower for the rest of the week. So what am I expecting overall on the higher time frame? I'm looking for the beginning of the week to somehow be bullish and have a retracement of this, say, bearish order block that we have right here. Have a retracement back in this area, and this area is, I'm going to put right here on the chart, is 14,630. And then from here, I'm going to be looking for potential sells, because like I said, based off of the higher time frame, the weekly, the monthly, I'm overall bearish. So even though we might have a few days that are bullish, it's all going to be part of the pullback that I'm expecting. And if you even pull the fib from that high to this low, it will also be a 38.20% rejection, along with that 14,600 big figure level, along with the fair value gap getting filled, along with the order block rejection, in an overall long-term downtrend. So we're going to see what happens based off of the higher time frames. So this is what I'm expecting based off of higher time frames. So now we're going to make our way down to the lower time frame, and we're going to overall get an analysis on what we think is going to happen on the intraday basis. So I'm going to get my other chart, bring this right over here, go down to 15-minute. I'm going to get rid of this black line here, but this black line is just showing you where the weekly market opened. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the previous Friday's Asian session range, which is going to be from over here at 18 o'clock all the way to midnight. So from here to here, this is going to be somewhere that we can potentially anticipate a possible retracement back into. Now that goes along with that higher time frame analysis that was also going on. So this is 14,600, so we're going to keep that level in mind. So 14,600 is right here. We're gonna have this level marked up 14,600. So we have that along with the low of the Asian session range. Another thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull our fib from this high here, which is the high that cleared the Asian session high. If you look to the left, this is the high that cleared this high, so that's why it's gonna be significant. And we're also gonna use this low that we currently have down here. So after we do that, let's get our fib. There we go. Now we have an area where we're potentially looking for price to overall have a retracement back into. So now that doesn't mean prices can, because it can definitely make a new low, and then from that point we'll have to redo our fib. But as of right now, we have the 38.20% rejection, which is in confluence with 14,400, just like this. That is in confluence with 14,400. Then we have this 79 right in between the 7.50% along with this 14,600 level. So now we have that bias along with our higher time frame. So now let's try to see what we could potentially get on an intraday basis. So now let's go to a 30-minute, see if there's anything in here that we could look to capitalize on. Go to the hour, 4 hour. First thing I notice is we have this 4 hour bearish order block right here. So what does that tell us? Now we have even more reason to believe why price could potentially have this overall reaction based off a higher time frame premise. So also, what am I going to do? I'm going to use the 50% to overall refine this area, because one thing about these major higher time frame order blocks is they're going to have way wider ranges. So if you look at how big this order block is, this is about 175 pips. But if you refine it from the half of it, that cuts it in half by 87. So now instead of getting in at this low down here, you could potentially wait to be even more certain and have a better entry, but you are potentially going to miss that trade. But you're going to wait for it to potentially come to this 50% or this 14,700 area, and that's going to cut your stop loss dramatically. So instead of 140, 50, 60 pips, they're going to be around, I would say 80 at most. Personally, I wouldn't even use that much. That's just me personally. So as of right now, what am I expecting? I'm expecting price to potentially have a pullback to right here at 14,400, where price is then either going to continue going lower, or we're going to have this pullback. Price is going to go higher, then we're going to go lower. So that's the two things that I have based off a higher time frame premise. So all of these things that I'm expecting is based off a higher time frame. So now what am I also going to do is I'm going to go to say right here, I'm going to get back over here, and I'm going to get a fib from the previous week's high, just like this. And I'm going to draw all the way to this low currently right here. Get our fib levels. And now look at that. We have this 38.20% level also in confluence with this area right here. So this adds another level of confluence based off a higher time frame. So if we're expecting an overall bearish week, we're going to be expecting price to overall have a pullback on this daily candle. So just like this, go to the weekly, zoom on in. We're going to be looking for pullback right into here, right into this bullish candle right in here. So we take this weekly bearish bullish order block, and we're going to grab the 50% of that. So now that we have this other 50% level, just to keep everything nice and confluent. So a little tip I will give you guys is to always have a clean chart. When you have a clean chart, it just makes everything so much easier to overall view. And when you have a cleaner mind, you're not looking at multiple different things happening. You're not getting confused on what your bias is. It just makes everything so much easier. Same thing with just overall just keeping your charts clean. So you see that 50% level is also in confluence with that 38.20% level, along with this 4-hour order block, along with that fib short from the previous day's high to this low down here, along with that weekly fib short, along with this 14,600 area. So ideally, the main area that I'm going to be looking for sells is going to be all in here. This box in here, I'm going to make it red because this is the ideal sell area where I'm anticipating the market to overall go short from. And that's based off of multiple confirmations, not just one. We have multiple. We have the higher time frame fib short from the weekly, the higher time frame fib short from the daily. We have this fib, we have this 4-hour order block. We have this weekly order block, and we also have the refining of that weekly order block right here also. So we have multiple reasons to believe why price is going to go short here. We also had the low of the Asian session all the way to the left. So if we draw this all the way over, you see we have multiple confirmation in this specific area right here. So I'm going to keep this screenshot here, and I'm going to look back at it at the end of this week, and I'm going to make sure I come back and look at it and see how well this reacts to it, because it might not be perfect, But if it is perfect, this is going to be a learning experience that I can then learn from. So before I end this video, I'm also going to be going over the overall news expected for this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this chart on over to my Forex Factory, just like this. And now we're going to overall look at what news events we have. So while you guys are looking at it over here, I'm going to look at it from my side where I have it on my whiteboard. So the weekly outlook for overall news this week, Wednesday, February 16th, we have news at 8:30 in the morning is going to be retail news. And then that day we also have FOMC news at 2 p.m. So what is that telling me? Wednesday, I'm going to be expecting an overall drop in price. That's just my personal opinion, because due with all the news that we've been having of recently, I think it's pretty certain that the news is going to be negative. That's just my personal bias. I'm not really too good on fundamentals, so don't take my word for it. Thursday, February 17th, we also have news at 8:30 in the morning for the jobless claims. Same thing with Friday, February 18th, 10 a.m. we have news for jobless claims also. So overall, if we're expecting price to be overall bearish for the week, this is a good sentiment on why we would expect it and what days we would be looking for great trades. So like I said, Monday through Wednesday, I'm going to be looking for price to overall have this push to the top side. And this is going to be before any of that negative news comes into effect. So if we can get this pullback early in the week, to then when that news comes out, price is going to have a reason now to go lower. And if we are able to get to this 14,600 area by that time, which is this area up here, I think there's going to be a good reason to see price have that overall drop off and continue going lower to end the week. And where am I going to expect price to go to? Best case scenario, 14,000. And at least in my opinion, I would want to see price come back down to this 14,200 to end the week off if we do get up to here. But that's just personally what I'm expecting. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but nonetheless, we just got to wait, be patient, and see what the market wants to do. And that's really all. So hold on, let me get this off right here. But right here, so 14,200 and 14,000. That's ideally where I'm expecting the price and Nas100 to overall go to. Same thing with US30. They both have set very similar moves. So if you pay attention to my weekly market trading sessions in the morning, you would know that during those times I will be looking at US30. You could just get my analysis there and done. But right now on Nas100, this is overall my predictions on what I'm expecting for this upcoming week, along with the news events on why I think it's going to do this. So that's really it. So if this video was helpful in any way, shape, or form, or even if I just gave you an insight on how I personally view the market, on how I just trade overall, then make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you stay motivated by the fear of being average, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Let's have a good week. Hope you guys have a productive and well trading week also. So good luck, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning.